Hi, Andrew from Connected Digital World here. Ubisoft will shortly be releasing the next in their Assassin's Creed game franchise, Assassin's Creed Unity, set during the French Revolution. Ubisoft invited us to Paris to take a look at the game and to interview some of their key development people. And all gameplay footage was captured from the Xbox One version of the game. Enjoy! Hi, Andrew from Connected Digital World here. Ubisoft will shortly be releasing the next in their Assassin's Creed game franchise, Assassin's Creed Unity, set during the French Revolution. Ubisoft invited us to Paris to take a look at the game and to interview some of their key development people. And all gameplay footage was captured from the Xbox One version of the game. Enjoy! So, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your role?
Of course. My name is Nitai Bessette, and I am the level design director for the Toronto studio. We're one of the partner studios working on Assassin's Creed Unity.
So, tell us what particular areas of Unity you guys worked on.
Okay, so the Toronto team, we're actually the largest partner studio. I'm not sure if I said that already. We were responsible for building half of the city of Paris. So Paris has a very convenient geographical feature, which is the Seine River, which runs right down the middle, splits the city in half. So our team in Toronto took the left bank of the city, and Montreal did the right bank and the island where Notre Dame is. So that meant that we had to build half of the playable space, all of the landmarks in that area, and most of the missions that take place in that area as well. So single-player missions, co-op missions, and quests as well. So it's a really big mandate for the Toronto studio.
Tell us a little bit about the story, first of all with the single player, and then tell us a little bit about the co-op missions.
Oh, for sure. So the single-player campaign really follows the personal story of Arnaud and Elise, his best friend from childhood. And they go on a similar path, but then they divert because Arnaud chooses to join the Assassins and Elise is a Templar. So they have a very different ideology, but they're still very close friends, they still love each other, and it creates a really interesting conflict between them. So, you know, even though the game it takes place during the French Revolution, the single-player story, while certainly the French Revolution is happening all around them and it impacts the story isn't about the revolution. It's about Arnaud and Elise and their personal story. But in co-op, we call them Brotherhood missions because these are missions that Arnaud is doing for the Assassin's Brotherhood, and they're not directly connected to his personal story. So in the Brotherhood missions, we were able to focus a lot more on the events and the historical characters of the French Revolution.
Okay. How does the co-op missions work?
It's pretty simple. Basically, you'll see icons on the map as you're discovering the world that will launch a co-op mission. If you're playing solo and you want to try it out, you can go ahead, you can jump right in, you can play single player, but we strongly encourage you to play co-op. And we do that by actually balancing the missions for the maximum number of players. So some missions are balanced for maximum 2 players and some for maximum 4. So if you want to play, say, a 5-star 4-player mission by yourself, you might find that it is very, very difficult. So if that's happening, I suggest that you get online, get your friends in there, and try it out.
And how you mentioned the balancing. How does that work?
So we decided not to go down the route of changing the difficulty based on the number of players because basically by focusing just on the maximum number, we were able to really like iterate and improve the quality. And if we had done different variations, it would have kind of split our attention. So we really wanted to make sure that the maximum number of players were getting the best possible experience.
And how long are some of these missions? Are they quick? Are they long? How does it work?
They're pretty substantial. We've found in playtests that a co-op mission takes on average about half an hour to play. I've been playing with journalists during this event, which has been very cool. Depending on the playstyle, I've had playthroughs that took 40 minutes, and I've had playthroughs that took 10 minutes. So it really depends on how you want to play. If you're a player that just wants to charge ahead and get to the objective and fight your way through, and you know you're just going to go for it, then it'll happen a lot faster. But I think in Assassin's Creed, you know, we always encourage you to find a vantage point, survey the environment, use your eagle vision, come up with a plan, and that will take longer, and I think you'll get a better experience that way.
What was the biggest challenge for you guys in creating co-op?
It's interesting. We had an advantage, which is that the game was naturally fun with friends. So as soon as we got the networking in and we were getting into sessions, we were starting to play with some simple objectives. We found that we were immediately having fun. But also, what can often happen is that people just sort of separate. They go their own way, and they play on their own, even though they have friends online. And of course, in an open world with all kinds of different choices about where to go, that's more likely to happen. So what we did is we added co-op abilities. So co-op abilities really try to reward players who stick together. So we have abilities such as the group heal, so that will heal you, but it will also heal your friends within a proximity. We have the morph ability that lets you make yourself look like a guard or even an NPC. And if your friends are nearby, it'll disguise them as well. So you can like walk right through the front gate of a palace, all disguised as guards. It's really fun to do. And we have other abilities like communal sense, which improves your eagle vision and automatically marks guards that you detect with eagle vision for your friends. So it's like really encourages you to work together.
Okay, if you could say 3 things about co-op and why people should play co-op, what would they be?
It's incredibly fun. It's very rewarding, and it's basically it amplifies the experience. So if you like doing well coordinated takedowns, if you like being stealthy, doing that with your friends is really gratifying. If you are a combat player, our combat system is much more challenging in Assassin's Creed Unity. But if you have backup with 3 friends, you can actually take on a pretty big group of enemies. If you have a friend who's in there using the heal ability, even better. So I'd say like whatever you enjoy doing, you're going to enjoy it more online with your friends.
You mentioned combat there. Obviously it's different from previous Assassin's games. Do you want to explain what's different?
Well, the AIs are a lot better at killing you.
I noticed that this morning when I was playing.
Yeah, to put it simply. So the way it typically works is if you're fighting 2 or 3 enemies, they'll take out their swords and you can parry. If you're good with timing, if you're good with the systems, you can kind of hold your own. You can kind of take care of it. It might take a little while, but you'll probably win. As soon as you get 4 or 5 enemies, they're going to take a step back and they're going to take out their ranged weapons. They'll shoot you with pistols. They'll throw bombs to blind you, and then you'll get attacked. If there are snipers nearby, snipers will take off almost all your health. The first shot will almost kill you. The next hit will definitely kill you. So if you're not careful, if you're getting overwhelmed and swarmed by enemies, you will die pretty quickly. So it's really designed to make people realize that they should extract themselves from the situation, hide, and then rethink it and come back and do something different. Because we don't want people falling into the same pattern every time where as soon as they get detected, they go into combat and then they stay in combat until all the guards are dead.
Okay. And how does the sort of, I'd like to say running away, but obviously that's not really an assassin's way of doing things. Escaping, thank you. How does that work within the game?
Well, it's really just a simple matter of breaking line of sight and then hiding until they stop looking for you. But you have tools to help you do that. You have smoke bombs that they can't see through. So as you're running away, drop a smoke bomb, turn a couple of corners, drop another one. They're probably going to lose you. I also recommend trying to get up to the rooftops because we've really wanted in Unity to bring the rooftops back to the Assassins. So we won't have guards doing parkour, fancy parkour, climbing up the side of the building. Only Assassins can do that. That's our special ability. If they find a ladder, they'll take the ladder up to the roof and they'll still fight you up there, but there aren't ladders everywhere in the world. So it's really to the player's advantage to use the rooftops. We also have hiding spots. We've had those before. The hay carts. We have like little guard posts with a bit of fabric in front. You can hop in and hide in there. So we use these tools basically to escape.
And obviously we've talked about Paris, it's open world. How big is the open world and how much is there to actually explore?
It's by far the largest city we've ever made, so we're very proud of that. It's significantly bigger than, I think the next largest city was Rome, and it's significantly bigger than Rome. If you take all the playable space in Black Flag, all the land, and put it together, it's not as big as Paris. Paris is tremendously huge, and it has to be because of the amount of landmarks and the amount of interesting places to explore. Not only though is it massive, it's also very dense. It's dense with gameplay opportunities. It's dense with interiors. All of our landmarks have fully realized interiors that you can enter without going through a load screen. You just walk inside. And actually about 1/4 of the houses in the city have interiors. So you can imagine the amount of space to explore. On top of that, or maybe underneath that, we have the undergrounds of Paris. We have the sewers, and we have vast networks of catacombs. So all those things together makes for an incredibly huge area to explore.
We look forward to playing more when the game's out.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time today.
No problem.
Thanks for watching. Why not subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the link on the screen now. And we have some more Xbox One Assassin's Creed Unity gameplay for you too.